Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our live session that is How to Ace Your Career. Yes, that's what we are talking here all about. For the people who know us and who are new, we would like to give our introduction again.
So I'm Nutan, I'm a career and a life coach, and we actually specialize in mid-age 12 to 15 years of experience who are looking out for a career transition, are stagnating in their career. It's an emerging economy. There's so much happening with educated people getting jobs, uneducated people just opening up because of all these kind of big baskets and Zomato, Swiggy, shopping malls. So I don't think that we are really in lack of job opportunities, whether it is in the lower strata or it is in the management, mid-management and top management.
Absolutely.
But there is a myth around it, which I'll clear at the end. The second reason that people gave was fear of change.
Yeah, absolutely.
That I agree is absolutely correct. I'm settled, comfortable in this given environment. Should I really make a change? Known devil is a better devil.
Yeah,
all
absolutely.
Kind of answers you keep giving yourself because you really don't want to change your job.
Very true. A complete
Reason that comes up is that because I don't have enough work on myself. So that is another reason why I don't change, because I don't feel I'm capable. I will not be able to do justice to my job.
Absolutely.
And the last, which came as a poll, was expecting a miracle.
Yes.
But let me tell you one thing from all the experience that I have from the 9 years of meeting people in various workshops. Let me tell you, dear friends, the first reason, which has come as the lowest in the poll, is the reason why people stay in the same job. Just because it's put as miracle, people say, no, we don't expect miracle. We are really very practical and we understand. What I mean by miracle is, I'm unhappy at my job. My boss is not really great.
Yes.
In fact, his toxicity is killing me. I'm in the stress, but I can't leave the job. And I'm expecting someday the boss will leave and go, or someday everyone will come to know that he's so toxic and they will throw him out, but I will not take a step. The other reason could be something will change in the company culture, or appraisals have happened. The HR has sat with you, given all the reasons. In spite of your great performance, we couldn't give you the hike or the promotion. But I promise you that
next year, this is a beautiful thing that I always find it really amazing that people really keep depending that every year, the next year, you will get this. I know someone, it's been 7 years, the next year has not yet come. But still, 7 years, somebody is waiting or hoping that some miracle is going to happen and this year is going to give me the promotion.
So next year, I'm still expecting, and when the appraisal cycle comes, I've just been given some little hike and I still stay there thinking that I don't know what's going to happen if I apply. The another reason, again, expecting a miracle is because I've stayed in this organization for such a long time.
Yes.
So I believe when I reach out to people, they will definitely help me. So I reach out to people, they don't help me, but I still stay there. Again, justifying my reasons of being there.
Absolutely.
So when people don't make the change, that's the first important thing that happens. You are expecting a miracle. And when I say miracle, means something which is out of your control. You cannot do anything about it. HR's opinion, appraisal cycles, bell curve, boss changing his job, he being thrown out of the job. These are all things out of your control.
Absolutely right.
And when you're expecting and depending on them, which means you're expecting a miracle.
Very true.
So I want all of you who have joined live session today, have you ever been in the situation where you were unhappy, but you keep thinking that something would change and probably that time I will take the decision. Today, I want to continue here. If you experience something similar, please type in the comment section. I would love to know from you, because when people also come together and comment and they say they are going through the same thing, it becomes even more verified as a fact.
Absolutely right.
So like I said, number one reason is actually expecting a miracle. And what is a miracle? Something which is out of my control. I'm depending that will change. Yes. And my career will change. Many of them have gone through this. That is why I thought that it's very, very important to reach out to those people who are unsatisfied, unhappy,
And slowly and steadily, it starts leading to stress. And when we are stressful, we're not delivering great.
Very true.
Our health goes for a toss.
Absolutely.
And because I'm not delivering great, next year when I'm sitting for my appraisal, everyone has a justification that you didn't give your
best.
So your peak performance has not come out. But the reason has been you. You can't say that, right? But you're still there. So what do you do in such situation when you're unhappy? The most important thing is to really acknowledge the fact that you don't want to continue working anymore. Once you accept that fact, you will want to move on.
Yeah.
But till you keep saying, no, something will change, tomorrow something will change, tomorrow something will change, that is because the most important thing that we're all scared of is the fear of change.
Absolutely.
And fear of change is even higher if I worked in one organization
for quite a long time, maybe 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, or maybe I worked in one company only, and now I don't know because because there's one thing which we all humans have is the zone, and it is called the comfort zone. We are so used to this comfort zone that no matter what, the biggest reason that we don't want to come out of this whole thing where we are is because of that comfort zone, where now it's like everybody knows me. I know my work, I know my boss, I know everything.
And I was having some good time. I was being promoted, for the last 7-8 years. It's just happened now. But that now when it reaches a stage of frustration, that is the time generally people reach out to.
Yeah.
So, like I always say, we've always mentioned in our workshop, it's your career, it's your future. So it is completely your ownership, no one else's.
Absolutely.
And if that is the case, then let's try and identify the one. So if you're not expecting a miracle, which means you'll take a career in your charge, you will do things which are in your control.
Absolutely. Which I feel means what is that's very simple. First, acknowledge that there is a challenge. I'm not happy here and I need to get out of it. That's the number one thing.
Then how to fight the fear of change.
Yes.
Now we've all been telling that fear can only be fought when?
Absolutely. Fear can only be, like it's a beautiful example. You should always fight the fear when the monster is a baby. Okay.
So fight it when it is really small. But at the same time, you can only fight fear. You cannot avoid it.
Absolutely.
So how do you fight fear? Is by facing
it.
There is no other way you can fight fear, dear friends, than really facing it.
Yes.
So like we all say, fear is like that snowball.
Yeah, it is so small when it starts from the top. And if you keep running, it's rolling and rolling and rolling, and it becomes 10 times bigger than you. And then it just rolls above you and crushes you completely. And then you're finished. And that is why it is so important that we are able to fight so all those people who are there, please understand the meaning of fear itself. F-E-A-R, which means false evidence appearing real. It's not true. It's a delusion. It's an illusion. Fear is nothing more than that. And that is why you need to fight it. But to fight it, face it and fight it.
So first, face fear. Now, second, it's not only the fear of change. Somewhere, because things have not been working the way you want, and people have been giving negative feedback about you, there is one thing that happens, and that is it hampers your confidence in yourself.
Absolutely.
You start losing confidence in yourself.
Yes.
And then you start wondering, oh, if I really apply, will someone give me a job?
Yeah.
Oh, if I apply and if I get rejected, how bad will it be? I'll have to still stay here.
Absolutely.
That's going to be so humiliating.
And also, there's a client of mine who, so she, after 15 years, had to give an interview. Can you imagine, after 15 years, because 15 years she's been in the same company, and now after 15 years, at the age of 50, she's deciding, you know what, I need to change my job. And the biggest fear is the fear of giving an interview, because you've not given it for 15 years.
So, fear of rejection,
yes,
fear of failure, all starts coming up.
Yep.
So, the most important thing is first, like we said, acknowledge the fact that you're not happy here and you need to make that change. Second, fight the fear by facing it.
Yes.
Third important thing is how to build confidence.
Yeah.
Now, confidence can only be built, one, by you really performing at your job.
Yes.
So even if you're unhappy, it's your career.
Yes.
If you're giving your best, you will feel confident about yourself. It's not about whether the boss is appreciating or no. You will feel that you're worth it.
Absolutely.
So even if you're not satisfied, even if you're unhappy, being performer, being in the top slot in the organization is the best way to pick up your confidence.
Absolutely.
There are many other ways to pick up confidence. Reaching out to people, finding what will it take to really go to the next job, working on those skills, upgrading your skills can also be a way of confidence building. But confidence basically comes when you've really thoroughly prepared for what's
Absolutely.
happening.
I will agree to that completely. I would say the right word. Like, I've been a sports person, and to play one match, okay, which used to be what, 20 minutes, we used to practice for 6 hours. After 6 hours of practice, every single day, we were told to play one match. And that is why the confidence is to be so high, because we are practicing it so much that we used to be in that peak practice mode. We used to be at a complete state of confidence. And that's why I've always won the competition. So practicing something is something very, very important. I'll give you a beautiful example of a client of mine. She's doing a hotel management program, and she had to call the 5-star hotels and call them. And I said, okay, what is the 0 to 10? How excited you are? She said, I'm 1. I said, okay, but still call. She did the first call. Then I said, now 0 to 10. She says 3. I said, wow. And by the time she did the 4th call, I asked him 0 to 10. He said 9. Wow, amazing. And believe me, the 5th call, she called Marriott, and then they spoke to her. She was so confident, and she got that internship program. But by the time she had done the 4 calls, her confidence had gone to 9. The confidence also increases when we do something again and again and again.
So if you're looking for a change, the most important aspect is the first part, that is your resume or your CV. Now, believe me, friends, you may find it's very so simple, and how stupid it is if people are not prepared, but they don't prepare their CV. And when I'm saying CV, I'm not saying just write your experience. All what you've done, just put it in there. There are ways to write your CV.
Absolutely correct.
A CV which will get selected.
Yes.
I remember just, I think 15 days back, one of a new client who had joined, she had already applied for a job, and she was telling me that, I've been applying for the last 18 months. I've not been able to crack any single interview. In fact, most of the places, my CV just went and nothing came back. Am I being ghosted by others? What is wrong with me?
Absolutely.
But the most important thing is to understand that your interviewer, the CV is not even reaching them. If you're putting your CV on a OTT on a platform like LinkedIn,
yep,
then the AI is looking into your CV, and then it reaches the recruiter. Now, 2.5 hours, if a proper good company's job is open. There's one of my client who's looking into this, and he used to hire people. He said in 2.5 hours, he had to actually shut down the opening because he had received around 1,000 applications.
Absolutely.
And this, I'm talking about a very small company. I'm not talking about big names like Google or Amazon.
Very true.
There are chances of 10,000 applications. Now, that is where it gets scrutinized by the AI. And if your CV is not proper, it will not even reach the table of the HR.
Absolutely
so
true.
Preparing a CV is one of the key factors of fighting the change, the fear of change, and second, building your confidence.
Yes.
And then after that, reach out to someone whom you know, someone who can mentor you, guide you, and rehearse the interview.
Yes.
What could be the probable questions that could come up based on the job that you're going to apply for? Obviously, you're going to apply for a position higher than you. Now, people say, I will just share in the interview what I've been doing, and that's what has to, be accepted by the interviewer, and he will select me. What else can I do? That's not true. Important is the role that you're applying for, how suitable, how fit you are.
Absolutely
is
true.
Another important thing that you need to look into your experience. How relevant is your experience for that job is much more important than what you've really done. Absolutely. What do you really pick up? So for example, like I said, we actually coach mid-age people. So let me give an example of those kind of people. You work for 15 years. Now, out of those 15 years, there could be just 3 years of experience, which is crucial for the job you're applying. You have to pick up that relevant experience and talk about it. Otherwise, it's of no use.
Yes.
So even if you've gone through the phase of getting accepted by the interviewer, your CV had reached there and he's organized an interview, you will fail. And because of that, when people don't get opportunities, they start feeling there's lack of job opportunities.
Yes.
That's not true. Lack of job opportunities is because today you have reached somewhere where you're above mid-management level. Then you definitely feel that there are not many openings. Why does that happen? That happens because most of the openings in the higher level management are generally not put in through any kind of job portals. The openings would be there and they get disappeared, but they generally come from a known person, a reference circle.
Very true.
You yourself would rightly look into your CV and think in the previous jobs that you've taken, how many times it has been that you were picked up by someone who knows you, right? So reference is the most important circle.
Completely agree. Data says that the first hiring happens internal hiring. That's the first thing. Second hiring happens through reference. Okay. People in their own network, in their own reference, they hire people. That's the second most powerful way. And CV, when you send CVs to companies, okay, that's the last that they look on. The third is that they go on for digital platform. That's online platform. That's where they go. So it's very important that how can you get through the reference itself. Now, if you know someone and you get there, the chances of you getting an interview is much higher than you trying to send a CV to someone and then someone is going to open. Never is going to happen that.
So any one of you, I would like to know again from all of these people who are attending, have you ever applied for a job and you've never heard from them? You've applied and you've not got a response and you assume that you're not capable enough. The company is not looking at you. You're not a worthwhile candidate. If you feel you've been ghosted, your CV is not being picked up. Have you experienced something like that? Please drop it in the comments so I would know I could help you on how to overcome that challenge.
Very true.
Of your CV getting noticed.
Yes.
The other important aspect, like I told you, preparing for the interview. Now, I can tell you one thing very proudly. One of my clients recently was unhappy with her current job. Whatever they had promised, she wasn't getting that exact role. She, of course, I always tell the first thing is to really reach out to your people whom you know you've just established a rapport and see what's happening. Yes. And because of that, when that 1 month there was no response, then obviously the next step was to start applying to fresh places. And guys, in a month's time, she had 8 interview calls, out of which 6 interviews she's given. Out of the 6, 4 of them have accepted her. 1 company has accepted, and because the hiring is freezed, they have told her that they look into her profile the minute the hiring opens up, and it's one of the biggest organizations where people would love to work, but it was all done very methodically, and that is why she could get job opportunity.
And this has happened only, I would repeat, only in 1 month's time.
And same thing I'll tell you has happened with my clients who've taken a career break for some odd reasons. Could be taking care of the family. We've gone through Corona. We've seen senior citizens getting stuck. Whatever may be the reason, they were at home to take care of family. They took a career break. Even for them, they have got job interviews when they decided they want to make a career change. They wanted to re-enter the workforce. I've ensured that they've got a job which was at least equal to what they were doing, if not less.
Yes.
But that all starts from preparation, thorough preparation. And don't we know it? Of course we know it. But like I said, first the mind feels something outside will change.
Yes.
And that's how I'll get a result. So it's about expecting a miracle. Second, if I think of doing it, oh my God, I've been in this company for such a long time. Imagine after 15 years of my work life, out of which 12 years I've spent in this company, I have to start preparing my CV. I've even forgotten how to write a CV.
Very true.
And the biggest mistake that you can do is reach out to the job portals and ask them to prepare your CV. Believe me, guys, you will pay them money and your CV will not get selected, because the minute that format comes in, AI is going to reject your application.
Yes.
They're not looking at your CV. If the same format, the typical bold lines, colored, the CV is going to be with all those one-sided, your synopsis, and it's a format. They know it's a job portal. Someone else has worked on your CV. And after 15 years, if you need someone else to write your CV, that means you're really not capable of what you're doing.
Or probably you're completely stuck and you've lost the touch altogether, because naturally after 15 years, you have to write a CV. It's very high chances that this might happen.
And if you ask someone else, a professional, to do your CV without you being involved, you've handed it over and someone else is doing it for you. Guys, you know, the most important thing is they'll just pick up things from everywhere and they'll put it on your CV. You will say it looks really good, professional, great English. But the minute you sit in front of the interviewer, in 2 to 3 minutes, he'll know it is not your CV.
Absolutely.
The language is someone else's. And when they start questioning or probing you, you will not be able to continue further.
Yes.
And that's where you'll get dropped out.
So which means what? That if you want a job, don't go to impress people. If you want a job, you have to influence people. And you can only influence people when you have done something. It's your work, it's your CV, it's your profile. You have worked on it, and that's how you can influence. Because if you go to impress, you may hire people who will make it very impressive, but when you are going to sit in front of the interviewer and you're going to ask questions, he will realize that you are just a person who's trying to impress. You will not get a job.
And I promise this to you, dear friends, if you have worked for 12, 15 years and you've been a performer, if you take a day out and just put down all your accomplishments, and just like that, you'll see your confidence going from 0 to at least 60-70%.
Absolutely.
Because all of a sudden you start feeling you're worth it.
I completely agree.
You believe you're capable, and that's the reason it's important to write your CV or resume on your own.
Yes.
Because you're able to pick up all the highlights of your professional journey. That gives you an opportunity to tomorrow even present when the interviewer is probing you with
Completely
questions.
agree. There's a client of mine. He's 53. And now he's looking out for a job. He said, you know what? I don't think that people will give. I said, forget it. Just write down that 25 years that you have worked. Okay, almost 25, 27 years he's worked. So please write down all what you have achieved. You'll not believe, friends. 32 pages. I'll not boasting. 32 pages. He kept writing and writing. And then every day, once he finished that exercise, he realized, when he called me, he said, sir, there's so much I've done. My God, I just forgot all of this. Wow, I'm feeling so great. I'm feeling so confident now I can crack anything.
And that is why I also felt that it's very important to discuss this topic today, because in the last few months, we've experienced that so many people, 50 plus, are coming to us looking for a job change.
Very true.
You know what? That right time when you're unhappy, when things are not going your way, you just stay there for security, for your comfort. And by the time the company reaches a stage when they ask you to move on, you have left nothing with you.
Or they treat you in a way that you force yourself on them. The way you've been treated there, because now you're not a performer, they can't remove you and they need to replace you. Then they treat you in a way that you're forced to, leave the company. Why do that? Why not when you are in your 35 or 40 max? You are in a position, or even 45, you have 15 years left with you where you can move out there and create the kind of job that you want to achieve. Because,
it's so difficult when you're 50 plus, 52 plus.
Yeah, especially 50 to 53.
Yes.
So the corporate says that, how much more year do you whave? What are you going to give me? Or why should I invest on you? Because you're already 50 to 53. I think maximum 4-5 years you're going to give me. So I'm not ready to invest on you.
So if you are really going through this situation and you're questioning yourself, don't stop for the fear. Please face it and fight it.
Yes.
Thoroughly prepare yourself. That's how you build your confidence. And there are no lack of job opportunities.
Absolutely.
The only thing that you're missing is networking.
Yes.
Because you're not connected to people, because you stayed in one organization for such a long time, you've lost touch with your circle. So get back into your circle, start connecting to people.
Yes.
Believe me, if you start doing that activity, it's not late. It's 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 3 months of activity. I promise you.
You will see a movement happening. You will see things moving.
So there is no lack of job opportunities, dear friends. It's only about you to get up, accept, acknowledge, get up and take massive action. That's how you'll be able to move on into a job which is really keeping you happy, fulfilled, and you're going there all out and delivering
Absolutely.
at your peak. That's how you ace your
Career.
So guys, that's it from us. If you have any questions, you can drop it in the comment section and we could reply back to you on your personal messages. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, all of you, for coming and joining every time. You really make our day. We wait for this Friday. So see you guys again next Friday, 9 p.m. on How to Ace Your Career. Good night.